नाहं त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सेदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्ये नमो नमः। वेदान्त विद्यास्थानेभ्यैव च सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Hari Om. We will see the summary of first chapter. 2 days we will take the summary. I'll give a short class we will have today because I have a call. So you know the first chapter was called Samanvayadhyaya. Samanvayadhyaya. So in this particular chapter, the attempt of Sutrakar means Vedvyas Bhagavan, is to present a systematic teaching. Systematic means what? Systematic means teaching which has to attain something is using a certain arguments based on scriptures. Attain a certain point, principle, he is now using a scripture-based argument, not logic, but he is picking up the scriptural statements to prove his point. Some people say that Vedanta or Upanishad, you don't call it a philosophy because philosophy is a speculative knowledge which is brought out by a certain individual. But darshan, although darshan is translated as philosophy, but darshan, what is the relation of the teaching of Vedanta and the rishis? It is not propounder or propounded relation. It is revealer-revealed relation. There is something called propounder-propounded relation. Like bulb is there. So bulb was propounded by somebody. Edison. But Galileo was not the propounder of the movement of the earth. Movement of the earth is not there. Earlier they used to think that sun is moving around the earth. He revealed it. When you say he revealed, so what is revealed was already there. But what was propounded was not there. So when you say Marx philosophy is there, Marx, communist. So that came in a time. There was a time where communism was not there. Or capitalists were there. Communists were there. Socialists were there. There are various forms of government. So some saints say that for the word, don't use the word philosophy for Vedanta. Because it was not propounded by anybody. It was revealed by the rishis. The very word rish itself means knowledge. Rishi, the definition of rishaya is mantra drashtaraha. One word, the seer of the mantra. So there is no doubt about that. Supposing you see something through a pramana, so it is asandigdham. When I see a flower, I have no doubt it is a flower or not. It is a flower. It is not a speculative knowledge that it may be. It is high chances it is a flower. Other philosophies have little speculation in that. Speculative knowledge is there. Because they don't have the pramana as the scriptures. They are tark pradhan. Sankhya, Nyaya, they are all tark pradhan. Tark means they use the logic to put their point. And among the Turks, some don't believe in the Shastra. They are called Bauddha or Jain. All these things are there. Okay. So that which uses the human reasoning and intellect to come to a point, they are called philosophy. Which are unaided by scriptures. So human intellect propounded principles having a scope of speculation, unaided by the scriptures. They are termed as a certain philosophy. But that knowledge which is not propounded by human intellect, rather revealed in the meditation, that is called scripture or shastram. That knowledge which is not speculated by human intellect, but it is revealed by the in meditation, in a certain state of mind. Meditation doesn't mean closed eyes. State of mind. Like anybody is trying to compose a music composer is there. He has a lyrics or he has a what he has to sing. So he keeps on thinking, how is it like that? How is it like that? This is meditation. In that meditation, it reveals that this is the best. Then he is called the genius. So one in a state of meditation, Gayatri Mantra was revealed to Vishwamitra. Markandeji, it was revealed Triambakam Yajamaya mantras. Although you may not appreciate it, but this is revealed knowledge. This revealed knowledge, which is not propounded or proved by logic, but logic comes later on. Logic is used to tell how this knowledge was true. We are using logic to prove this knowledge. I give an example that supposing there is a bottle, and bottle has a very narrow mouth, and you have a bucket full of oil, and you have to put in that bottle. So if you start pouring that bucket full of oil, it will spill out or it won't at all. And you use a funnel. So funnel is the one, so easily the funnel is able to bring that bucket full of oil into a big bottle whose mouth is narrow. And it doesn't spill out also. So we use the logic as a funnel to bring that knowledge which is very vast into the bottle called intellect. We are using the funnel. Funnel is not making the oil. For other philosophies, they are propounding something. Already we have the knowledge, but I don't understand how. It is said, Aham Brahmasmi, I don't understand how. I don't understand a lot of points. But I am using the logic to come to the conclusion. So teaching which is extracted by the Vedantic scriptures is not Paurusheya. It is not human made. It is not said in a state of inspiration. It is called Apaurushaya. Apaurushaya. Unmade knowledge. Unpropounded knowledge. Which cannot be contributed to any individual. No individual is the holder of that knowledge. Like Bible was said by Christ. Or Quran was said by Muhammad Sahab. One individual is responsible for that. And that came in a certain time. There was a time when Bible was not there. There was a time when Quran was not there. But there was not a time when Vedas were not there. There was not a time when mantras were not there. And therefore there was not a time when the samskaras were not there. It was not that the institution of marriage came later on. But in other religions, without bias, I am telling you, without any sense of bias, Europe before Christ and Middle East before Muhammad Sahab, what was practiced? So they say nature must be practiced. What there is not very organized. They will worship sun, they will worship moon, they will worship trees. There is no darshan in that. There is no vision behind that. There is no leader as such. Think about that age. Churches were not there. Mosques were not there. In the Middle East, mosques were not there. And when religion was not there, because they had no book, and naturally the licentiousness, looting, plundering was more. Because laws are not followed. But it was not there that in Hinduism, the temples came later on, or the scriptures came later on after certain acharya. No acharya was the maker of his scriptures. No acharya started in this. Acharyas came in between to bring out a certain principle and sustain that. But no teacher was the propounder of Hinduism, because Hinduism did not start. It is not a one, therefore it is called Sanatan Dharma. It did not have any original time. Now, on this point, I'll not go more, although there are a lot of other topics. We are to the summary. So, this point that what is the essential teaching of Vedanta? What is the essential teaching of Vedanta was brought out by nothing else, none else than Bhagavan Vedavyasa, who was the avatar of Lord Vishnu. And he brought out in a form of a thread and garland. So like the thread holds the flowers and makes a garland, although the thread is hidden. So here garland Brahma Sutra is like a thread which is holding the flowers of the Upanishadic statements. Already you saw it. Vedanta Vakya Kusuma Grathanarthatvat. It is called Sutra because it has woven the Vedantic statement to reveal the point that Vedanta talks about the Brahman only. Sutra means thread. Sut means thread. And the thread, what is the function of the thread here? Thread here is taking the Upanishadic statement like a flower, and it is making a garland out of that. That this Upanishad talks this Upanishad talks this Upanishad talks this. So Vedanta Vakya Kusum. Kusum means flower. Grathanarthatvat, because it has sewed the Vedantic statements in one thread. Therefore, it is called Brahma Sutra. So, Brahma Sutra is a thread to extract the essential teaching of the Vedanta, to reveal that. Okay, right? And this essential teaching, what was said, it was arrived by a method which was called Mimamsa. This was arrived by a method called Mimamsa. Analysis. Mimamsa. And how the Mimamsa was done? Remember that? How Mimamsa? Huh? No. Huh? No, that is a format. Upakrama, Upasamharo, Abhyasa apurvata phalam arthavato ch. 6 steps. Shadvidilak. At beginning and end was same. This was done. This analytical way is done. And this way you arrive at the main teaching of the Vedanta. Why do the Mimamsa? Because why you have to? Because the teachings are not explicit. Because subject matter is very subtle. Subject matter, because it is very subtle, so there is always a chance of misinterpreting. Anything subtle is more subject to misinterpretation. There is ambiguity as if. And therefore it needs lot of explanations. Like this is a watch or a flower. There is no ambiguity. Because it is Indriya Gyan. Something is known by sense or another. So you need not. Everybody will say, yes, I agree, this is a flower. So anything which is known by the senses, so there is no problem. But something which is not the topic of senses, like ourselves, there will always be lot of doubts. So it doesn't appear explicit. You need more talks, more explanations. It is not that simple topic. They say, why should you have so much success? Because the problems are not clarified. Topic is not that easy. Therefore, you need lot of satsang. You are not able to grasp it. And in among the Hinduism only, there is Vishishta Advait, Dvait, Advait. And the proof that people are not, it is not explicit, that a lot of commentaries are there on Vishishta Advait. Ramanujacharya wrote commentary on Bhagavad Gita. More than 50 commentaries are in Brahma Sutra, in Sanskrit. You don't write, already 50 are there. Why to add? No, one Brahmachari was there. He started writing commentaries on Upanishads. In English, of course. Advaitvadi darshan is there, Vishishta Advait is there, Advait is there. And all of them try to get their own point. Until you know. Dvait will come in, dualism is said in the Vedanta. How do you say? Is it Dva, Suparna, Sevja, Sakatya? 2 birds were there. Samanam, Vriksham, Parishashvajat. 2 birds were there, so it's not like that. Then Vishishta came. He said, what do you say? Mamai Vam Sho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanadana. My view is my part. And what to say of Advaita? He said, Tattvamasi Ayam Atma Brahma. Prajnanam Brahma. Sarvam Kalpidam Brahma. So, therefore, about truth. And don't say all are right. All are right at their level. But ultimately, there has to be one point only. Sadhana, I have no problem. Sadhana, everybody can be in sadhana. There can be many sadhana, but cannot be many sadhya. There can be many roads, but not many destinations. Many truth cannot be there. Truth will have one nature. God will have one nature. Somebody may take this road, that road, I have no problem. But you can't say every religion has different God. And if you say no, all gods are one, then you have to say that all gods should have one nature. That only one God should have one nature. Either that God should be different than Jeev or it should be one than Jeev. About that God, you don't make new points now. So sadhan, there is no problem. Somebody may do jap, somebody may do Ganga Snan, somebody may fast, somebody may meditate, somebody can do pranayam, somebody can go to art of living and do Sudarshan Kriya. Or somebody can go to, what is his name, Sadhguru, Isha Foundation, do something, I have no problem. He talks a lot about diet, or he talks about maybe quite popular speakers. Their views are in millions. No, Sunam, I've heard a lot. If you want to do sadhana, I have no problem. But when you say, no, what is the nature of God, then you can't say there are many natures of God. Essentially, one nature may be there, should be there. He may express as many. And what is that essential nature? You can't say, no, all religion have own God and all God are different and all are right. All gods are different. I mean, that means all truth are different. And if all truth are different, that means they are negated with each other. If Allah is different than Ram, so Allah negates Ram and Ram negates Allah. That means both are vastu parichhay. There's a limitation of object in Allah and Ram. Here Allah is there, Ram is not there, Ram is there, Allah is not there. So that means they are finite. If finite, then both will die away. ये नहीं कर सकते आप. हाँ, I can agree that for them there can be mask, there may be another way of praying. You go to church, there is another way of praying. I've gone to church also many times. God has very good sense of humor. I was in a convent school. My education was in a Christian school. The name of the school was St. Joseph's. And beneath the same institution, St. Mary's was the girls' school. So chapel was there. Chapel. And the fathers were there. The principal was a father, Christian father. The white gown kind they put on. So a lot of time they used to take us to the chapel and the church. Like that. And many Christian marriages I have gone to. So you go there and see what happens. I was very small, I didn't understand all these things. My grandfather had a lot of Christian friends, so I used to go on Christmas their house. They used to feed cake, etc. In the Christmas and this Good Friday, so the cakes were there. They used to offer cakes. So regularly I was going to their house. He was professor and therefore many Christian teachers were there. So he had a very good social personality. So he used to take me there. Only thing what was little depressing, when I used to go to the church, there was a cross. In that cross, I saw, Jesus Christ like that. I felt, oh my God, so much pain is there. It was nailed. You have seen the picture, no? Not seen that. Like this, आपको बड़ा दुख हम कहे भाई छोड़ो उसको हटा दो. Take out the nail. Keep the cross only. ऐसे बेचारे ऐसे. Solid nail is there, big nail. You must have gone a lot. Huh? Right? But he came out again, no, the second, on the Monday, Easter Monday. What is emergence? What is it called? Huh? Resurrection. So, these were, I have no problem what means you apply if as it is, if it purifies your mind, if it makes your mind concentrated and community is mind, it is okay. But as far as end is concerned, you cannot have two truth. That every religion has own truth. That means truth is different space and different time. That means truth has started. If religion has its own truth, then Muhammad Sahab gave one more truth. That means truth started in time. That means it was not eternal. How can it be truth? Truth is beyond time and space. This is where Vedanta comes to rescue. Now this confusion of Dvait, Vishishta, Dvait, this was sorted out by Vedvyas. And he used the technique of Mimamsa. And therefore he brought out Brahma Sutra. It is a very big gift. Now that you have heard Brahma Sutra for about 9-10 months, you will know what gift they had given and left. You have so much of matter to think. So much rich content is there. Not one life. You can spend lives on Bhagavat, lives on Brahma Sutra. You have a very lavish area of thinking. You are not having one book and you have a lot of vistas of flying your thoughts. So this method of teaching here, which Vedvyas has used in the first chapter, is called Samanvaya. Samanvaya means consistency. Consistency means what is one factor which is not left out in all Vedantic statement. What is one point which goes in and through. That is called Samanvaya. Focus. Like when you talk, like third chapter of Gita is on Karma Yoga. So you will find that whatever Bhagavan is talking, underlying point is one only. One point is in his mind. There should not be 2 points. Like whole Bhagavad Gita is there. Somebody said, Bhagavad Gita, everything is said. I said, everything is said, but focus is on one point. Everything may be said. Like Dharma Sutra is there. There may be said many things. But focus is on one point about the Dharma. Right? Samanvaya means in and through that one point that goes in and through. Warp and woof of everything. That is called Samanvaya. What is the main theme? What is the main project? Like somebody says, you have many programs. What is your main attention? Missions where you attend mainly. Because many activities are there. Many projects may be there. Feeding scheme is there. Bal Vihar is there. Yuva Kendra, Czech classes there. Magazines are there. Yajnas are there. Or maybe something called camps are there. What is that main thing? What for all these things are there? Main thing is the truth only here. That everything is done so that you can study the scriptures. So study of the scriptures, listening of the scriptures to achieve the purification of mind and knowledge of the self This is the main thing of the mission here. And no activity or what is it called? Remember, when this main thing is forgotten, then problem will start. This is where organizations either perish or they break. Or they have differences. And then becomes a problem. This is the main aspect. So while I'm working this, and I ask sometimes, why you are working so much? What is the purpose of your work? And I remember one thing with Gurudev many times after the yagna. When Gurudev came, it was a big festival. So people got inspired. He said, Gurudev, I want to serve the mission. He said, no need to serve. First attend the study classes. You should know about the purpose. So who can be a better mission member? Who knows about the goal of life? He alone can know the goal of mission. Goal of life and goal of mission should not be two. If you don't know the goal of life and you are in the mission, you will be confused. Then you will say, no, I wanted to work. He didn't allow me to work. Why? Who asked you to work? No need to work. When your seva is required, God will take your seva. Why should you bother about that? It's not you have come to work. You have not come in the mission to work. Simple point is this. Well, what did you say? We have not come for work. No. You have got sidetracked here. You have come to purify your mind and to know the truth here. Everything else is secondary. You are holding the spoon and leaving the dish. A spoon is there so that you can eat something well. जो होगी सेवा बताया जाएगा आपको. Why should you bother? What work will be there, you'll be told. If no work is there, finish it. No work, enjoy satsang. And if you really want to do some work, then you can. There is something called mop is there. There is something called broom is there. Nobody will snatch mop from you. They can snatch position from you. If you really want to clean that I'm going to clean, like Pratibal is there. Pratibal is not coming nowadays. COVID. Huh? Sister-in-law. Acha. Today Meg's brother passed away. Meg's brother. Morning around 4 o'clock. So from mission, I think we should just send some written condolences. Although I communicated on WhatsApp, but some formal. I think he must be young boy, person, Meg's brother. He must be in 40s to 50s. Huh? 50s that. Meg is a 50s, I think. I think he had come here in the Shivratri function. Every year he used to come. Both the brothers came together. Both owned. I think that portion he owned and one. Both had its separate unit, but they are under one banner. They are our regular printers. Anyway, तो यही होता है संसार क्या है. It is every day you hear somebody. Every day you hear somebody passing away. And either you hear somebody is in hospital, either you hear somebody has passed away. So let us hold all the outer people. Pratipal should take care of his health. भाई कौन रोका प्रतिपाल को? Who stopped Pratipal? Who stopped? If he wants here and wants to pipe the temple floor, or he wants to varnish, who stops? Who stopped Alan by donating money? Like bigger things God has made that you can do it anytime. Who stops you from coming in the Aarti? That military person used to come in the Aarti. Rajan, tall person. So he had a big car. So almost every evening he was in the Aarti. Nobody stops from Aarti attended. Committee, maybe not everybody can be there. We have a limited number. Trust, not everybody can be there. The restriction is there. But if you really want to serve, trust and committee is not an essential thing. I was not in the trust. I was not in the committee many times. But who can stop me from serving? बाद में trust में है later on. You are not in the trust before 2000, I think. He was not in the trust. Later on they came, but they were always serving in their own capacity. Prithviraj was not in the trust. Praveen was not in the trust. Pawan was not in the trust. They were not in the trust at all. But they were doing their bit. So if you understand the goal of the mission, goal of your life, then only understand the mission. Otherwise you get sidetracked, distracted. Don't forget my point. Okay. Now to establish this point, what is the truth here? What is the extracted portion of the Vedanta? And how to refute all other things who are saying something else about the truth. Ved Vyas Bhagwan has written Brahma Sutra, and he used the method called Samanvaya. So Tatparya Nirnaya, Samanvaya, Mimamsa, they are all the synonymous to arrive at the central teaching of Vedanta. We have completed the first chapter by God's grace. Somebody can tell how many classes, I'll be happy. You can do research later on. From March, etc. started. All the four padas were there. And if you remember, total 39 adhikaran were there. 39 adhikaran were there. And 134 sutras were there. 134 sutras. Right? And 4 padas. So first chapter, 4 quarters. And then 39 section. Adhikaran means section. Don't forget this. There's some numbers you have to keep in your mind. 39 adhikaran or section. And 134 sutras. Aphorism. Sutras means aphorisms. Very good. And this book you have got. So tomorrow also I have to yet complete the summary. Okay. The process of arriving at the central teaching is called Shravanam, listening. But listening is not the dictionary meaning of the listening. Listening, Shravanam, is a word which means active participation in inquiry of Vedanta along with the teacher to come to the conclusion that Atma and Brahman are one. Slowly, I could not write. I only wrote active, and after that I became passive. No, I am saying active participation in the inquiry of Vedanta. of the student or along with the teacher to arrive in the conclusion of oneness of Atma and Brahman. This is called Shravanam. In Vedanta, our definition is given. When I say active participation, it means the teacher creates a thought. The same thought should come in the mind of the student. And he should be convinced about the very validity of that thought. It's not that teacher said something, he heard something. The conviction what the teacher has about the Atma and Brahman oneness, the transfer of the conviction through the medium of words in the environment of faith, under the infrastructure of ashram life. This is called Shravanam. Again, I am repeating it. Transfer of the conviction and the knowledge. Transfer of the conviction and the knowledge from the accomplished teacher. Arey, accomplished word was not there. Transfer of this knowledge from the accomplished teacher to the qualified student. No. Before that. In the medium of faith. In the medium of faith. Protected in the environment of the ashram life of detachment. To come to the conclusion that Atma and Brahman is one, this is called listening. Why ashram life? Ashram life because it needs the protection of the knowledge. Ashram life is meant so that no other areas of distraction could spill the knowledge what you have gained. You don't have to cook, you don't have to fight with the wife, you don't have to run after husband, you don't have to make the child dress up for the school, you don't have to pay the bill, electricity bill, you don't have to fetch the mamaji from the airport. So all these, as much as possible, these areas you are not allowed to go into attachment mode. Ashram life means the life of practicing non-attachment. Because whole point is to protect the knowledge. Hold the knowledge. Like bank protects money. So ashram is going to protect the bank of knowledge which you have heard. Because detachment, overaction, too much of work, too much of involvement, too much of hatred, too much of ahankar, this throws away the hard-earned knowledge. So therefore it is holding that knowledge. This is called Shravanam. Therefore Shravanam requires teacher and taught. Not any teacher, accomplished teacher who is established in what he is talking. And not any student. the qualified student who is having this passion, who has recipiency in him. And faith is required. And then you need an environment of quietness. Infrastructure is required. Of a not very, very active life. Especially of Vedanta student. There are students who are Karma Yogis, no problem. Somebody wants to do Karma Yoga, he is fine. We can live a very active life. But to be on the path of Vedanta and to have a highly active life, this will not go with the teachings. Because he needs to revel on his self. This is Shravanam. Okay. Through the Mimamsa, what teaching is there? Through the analysis, what teaching is there? That unique subject which is revealed by the unique Pramana is called Vedanta. And unique subject is Brahman. Asandiktam, anadigatam. And here Brahman is revealed as what? As Jagat Karanam Brahma. Cause of the world is this. How is the cause? Abhinna Nimittu Padana Karma, which is the material and efficient cause is one. Regarding efficient cause, everybody agrees God is efficient cause. But none of them agree that it is a material cause. This is the apurvata of Vedanta. They say inert thing is a material cause. Chetan, even the Ishwarvadi. Chetan is the efficient cause. Vedanta says no, the efficient cause and the material cause is the Chetan only. And this is the where the Ved Vyas Bhagavan is going to hit the nail on the head. He says the God alone manifests as the world and he is the world. But why do we know this? Need to know this knowledge. By knowing this knowledge alone, you can be free from transmigration and sorrows. If something doesn't free from sorrow, we are wasting time. If something doesn't give you freedom from all sorrows, then why should you waste time here? So Brahma Gyan is the means of liberation. And what will give liberation? Brahma Gyan will give you liberation. Where you will get Brahma Gyan? Brahma Gyan you will get from Vedanta. Where you will get Vedanta? Vedanta you will get from extraction of the scriptural statement. This is the point. I think we will come back to it tomorrow and complete this. Little more points are there in the summary. Then we will move towards chapter 2. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om.